Pay attention, son. This is for your own good.
So, what's the latest California city to declare bankruptcy? Have you been watching the news lately? Not only is the federal budget out of whack and individuals are having money troubles, but cities too are facing financial failure and declaring that they can't pay their bills. So today on Transit TV, let's do a quick lesson on the history of bankruptcy. Since the beginning of human society, there's been the concept of debt, someone owing something to someone, and the person owed wants to be repaid. The earliest society with recorded rules about debt repayment was the Babylonians, 1700 years before the birth of Christ. Back then, people who couldn't repay money they owed were sold into slavery until King Ammi-Saduqa decreed an end to that practice. Next was ancient Israel. The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 1 through 8, talks of the Jubilee year. Every 50 years, debtors were forgiven their financial sins, and people who were sold into slavery for their debts were released. Next came ancient Greece and the Roman Republic, which were not quite as forgiving. Debtors there faced slavery, imprisonment, mutilation, exile, or death. If a debtor died before repaying what he owed, creditors could actually seize the corpse and hold it for ransom until his relatives paid. But where do we get the word bankrupt from? Fast forward about 500 years to Italy and the Renaissance, the rebirth of civilization after the Dark Ages. The church was the big power in those days, and also frowned upon not paying your debts. Debtors were excommunicated and so feared an afterlife in hell. But merchants who were rebuilding world trade after the Dark Ages were given special rules for this. A merchant's trading place in the local markets was called his banca. Merchants who lost their place in the market due to debt were labeled rata. But as long as they turned over all their assets to the creditors, they weren't jailed, exiled, or executed, just put out of business. Banca rata gives us our modern word bankrupt. That's a little about debt and bankruptcy in history, but it's far too vast a subject for one quick lesson, so watch for an upcoming text segment on how the government of contemporary America deals with the problem of debt repayment and bankruptcy. I'm the Transit TV teacher, Justin Vyor.